Alright, Ascension. I promised somebody I would do a couple arcane mage, balanced druid kind of builds. We're going to start with Temporal Shift. It's basically an arcane mage that cycles Temporal Blast and arcane missiles to juice up to have some pretty big starfires. This build was nerfed. Where I don't feel like it's worth playing it anymore for Starfire damage. There's some other ways to play it that are probably better now. But instead of Lunar Eclipse increasing your Starfire damage by 45% in PvP, it does it 15% now. So it doesn't really feel all that great. I mean, I wouldn't do it. But we'll get into the build regardless. We use arcane motes because your arcane missiles increases your starfire damage. Arcane synergy, the same thing. It keeps your lunar eclipse going a little longer and will help juice up your starfire. And power overwhelming just keeps your arcane power and presence of mind resetting faster, which is nice. Everything else is basically arcane damage modifiers. The gear I'm playing it with today, I'm using spell power crit gear with dual wield weapons. Alternatively, you could play with haste gear and a staff and it would still perform well and might even feel better in PvP. But honestly, once this thing gets going, your haste isn't really that big of a problem in my opinion because your starfire cooldowns, they're really low. So the rotation, keep up Moonfire and Arcane Orb on your main target. You want to start out with 3 Temporal Blasts into a Starfire and then Arcane Missiles. And then from here you're just Temporal Blast, Starfire, Arcane Missile. Temporal Blast, Starfire, Arcane Missile. Kind of, that's just the rotation. Now, if you want, when you have the lunar going, you see how fast it comes down? That's why we kind of rotate this how we do. But if you have a kill target in mind, what you could do is when you trigger that lunar eclipse, you could just Starfire like 3 times in a row, and that's potentially your burst kill. But to play it consistently, you can literally just rotate Temporal Blast, Starfire, and then the missiles. And every time you do that, you're gonna have a max juiced up Starfire. You can cast like really fast. It's really interesting. 0.68 cast speed. Yeah, you can't really beat that. So that's the build. This one is in the Hero Architect. All builds, search Dirty Potions. You'll see Temporal Shift, Arcane Mage. And I will post some other variants of Arcane Mage here in a bit.